I've got a horror film for you today that's been released on 4K from Arrow Video. However, this has already been released on 4K quite recently. Let's talk about it. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Flicks and Pixels, and thank you so much for checking out today's video. So, yes, as I mentioned, this film was released a couple of years ago or so on 4K. I think it was released by Warner Brothers in the US and Studio Canal in the UK. So when Arrow announced this film, when they announced they were releasing it, people were scratching their heads a little bit as to why, because it's such a recent release. It was a bit baffling as to why Arrow Video were doing it, but then it became apparent the reasons why, and we'll talk about those in just a second. But as you can tell from the thumbnail, the film I am talking about is Evil Dead Rise in a nice slipcover edition. I'll take you through an unboxing of this in just a second. So yeah, the reasons being is basically Arrow have absolutely loaded this with bonus features, because the original releases literally came with no bonus features at all. It was just the film on the disc and that was it. What Arrow have also done is they've added Dolby Vision as well. Previous releases were HDR10. This one is HDR10 and Dolby Vision. And as I say, guys, it's absolutely packed with bonus features. So this is kind of a nod to the fans, really. True fans of this film, Arrow have created the perfect package. It is the ultimate Evil Dead Rise package with the film on 4K with HDR10 and Dolby Vision, and absolutely loaded with bonus features. So in terms of the release itself, it wasn't available in the UK. It was a US only release. So I had to order this direct from the Arrow US website, and including postage and everything, it came in at just under 29 quid delivered. So I couldn't really moan at that. A little bit disappointed that they didn't do a UK release, but it is what it is. Arrow US website is relatively easy to order from, and it's not much more cost-wise than it would be if you bought a title like this, you know, the equivalent slipcover edition or anything from Arrow UK. You know, these editions usually go for about 25 quid. As I say, this one was about 29 quid delivered from Arrow US. So you can't moan, really. And with it being 4K, it's region free. So, as I say, this is the ultimate package for the true fans of this film. So while it is a recent film and it's been released recently on 4K already, Arrow have gone that extra mile with this, clearly, with what they've put on the disc. And as I say, yeah, it's a really nice edition as well. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take you through an unboxing of this, and then we're going to bring it back up and we'll talk about the 4K picture and on how it sounds as well. So, are you ready? Come on, let's go and have a look. Okay, so we go with Evil Dead Rise on 4K from Arrow Video, and gotta say, guys, I'm liking that artwork on the front. If you've seen this film, this is the opening scene where she rises out of the water, and then that title kind of comes across behind her. Really like that. Great design. And then if we spin it round, you've got Evil Dead Rise written just there. Same on the other spine. And then on the back, you do have a bit of a write-up on the film, a list of your bonus features, and there's quite a lot on here, to be honest, and then your tech specs at the bottom as well. So if I zoom that in, you can pause that and have a bit of a read if you wish. Take it out of its slipcover then, and then the cover is reversible. So I've decided to reverse it to that original poster art. The other side is the same as the slipcover. So that is the front there, and again, you've got Evil Dead Rise written just there. Spin it around to the spine, Evil Dead Rise there as well. And much like the slipcover at the back, a write-up of the film, a list of your bonus features, and your tech specs at the bottom. So if we open this up, you do get some things in here. The first thing we will go through is you get a little booklet, like the art on that. And then that is the back as well. Very nice. And again, like most Arrow booklets, information on the cast and the crew, some production notes, what went into the making of the film. And you also get some shots from the film itself as well, which is nice. And again, keep saying it, guys, you know, these little booklets, they're only small, but they're decent quality from Arrow, in all fairness to them. There we go. Yeah, it's quite nice. Quite like that. Pop that there. And then you also get a double-sided poster. And on the one side, you have that artwork that's on the slipcover. I really like that. It's nice. And then spin it round, and that's your original poster art just there. Yeah, very nice. And again, you know, fairly decent quality poster from Arrow. And then inside here, of course, you get your 4K disc with that vinyl artwork. Very nice, like that. So that is your disc. You also get your poster and your booklet. Those go in there. And that's all housed in a very, very nice slipcover. So there we go. That is Evil Dead Rise from Arrow Video on 4K. Let's go back up top and let's talk about it. Okay, so we are back up top with Evil Dead Rise on 4K from Arrow Video in quite a nice slipcover edition. You know, I really like the artwork on there. That artwork is really nice, and the fact that you can reverse it to the original poster art on the case as well. Yeah, I just think it's yeah, nice little addition that, and that artwork is great. It is. As I mentioned before, guys, it's as you saw in the unboxing video, it's absolutely loaded. It's packed with bonus features, and it is a true tribute to the real fans of this film. To be honest with you, I think it's you know, an absolute packed edition and a nice edition as well. So if you are a true fan of this film, this is going to be right up your street. Now, in terms of the 4K picture itself, with it being a modern film, you know, your details and your clarity are excellent on this. Your blacks are nice and inky. Your shadow detail is excellent as well. Close-up shots look amazing. Just the whole picture, it looks fantastic. But as I say, it's going to, because it's a modern film, you're going to get that quality of picture. In terms of the HDR10 and the Dolby Vision, it brings out sort of like those specular highlights, the lighting in the film. There's some punch to the lights, like the street lamps and things like that. It looks really good. And as I say, your shadow detail, the contrast levels and everything are excellent in this as well. The colours look really good. It's almost like they've really captured the atmosphere of this film, and yeah, it looks great. But as I say, guys, I'll reiterate again, it's a modern film. It's going to, across the board, it looks fantastic as a 4K picture. It does. In terms of the difference between HDR10 and Dolby Vision, I've said this, I don't know how many times I've said this. There isn't really any difference, to be honest. Not that what I could say. I think, if anything, and I'm being really picky with this, you know, the lights, the street lights and everything, the lights in the houses had a little bit more vibrance to them, a little bit, just a tiny little bit more punchy. That is it. That is the only difference. It's negligible. It really is. And in terms of the film and how it sounds, it comes with its original DTS 5.1 and it comes with the Dolby Atmos soundtrack as well. And they both sound phenomenal. They sound fantastic. They really do. What can I say? If you've got this already on 4K, if you are a huge fan of this film and you want all those bonus features, I'd recommend you picking this up. I would. If you've already got that original release on 4K and you like the film, but you're not fussed for the bonus features or anything, it's probably not going to be worth you getting this, if I'm being completely honest with you. Now, unless you must own every film that's got Dolby Vision on there, maybe you'll want to pick this up. But if you've already got that release and you're happy with HDR10, because HDR10, as I said, there's hardly any difference between HDR10 and Dolby Vision if your setup is right. And I know everyone's settings are different. Everyone's settings are completely different. But I set my TV exactly the same for HDR10 as I do for Dolby Vision. That's what I do with my comparisons. It's the only way you can tell whether there's any differences at all. You know, but HDR is more customizable, isn't it? You've got certain settings, especially if, you know, I'm using the UB820 player. There's a dedicated HDR setting button on that remote where you can go in and you can adjust the luminance of the HDR. Some people prefer that. And sometimes I do that with certain films. I do. There are certain films that have got a Dolby Vision they've got Dolby Vision on there, that I actually prefer HDR because I can customize it a little bit more to my liking, to get it to that sweet spot that I like with that HDR luminance. You don't get that with Dolby Vision because all the settings are sort of like locked out. On my LG G4 OLED, you know, all the settings on there are exactly the same as what they would be for HDR10. But again, there are a couple of settings on there which I don't tend to mess with, to be honest, anyway. But if you were one of those people that tinkered with your you know, your dynamic tone mapping and things like that, you wouldn't be able to do that with Dolby Vision. So HDR is more customizable, so it depends on your preference, really. If you're a huge fan of this film and you must have every film that's got Dolby Vision on, this is the perfect release for you because this is loaded with bonus features and it's got Dolby Vision. Other than that, I don't see why you'd want to pick this up if you're not a massive, ginormous fan of this film. If you've already got that 4K release from before, you're all set, mate. You're all set. Yeah, I don't know what more to say about it, guys, to be honest. I could sit here and tell you that it's the most amazing release that's ever been. But truth be told, it's a good release. It's a great release. It's a great release if you don't own the previous 4Ks. But if you own them already, maybe wait for it to come down in a sale or something, or, you know, yeah, wait for it to come down in a sale if you've got those previous 4K releases. Unless you're a sucker for bonus features, then you're absolutely going to love this one. So that is all for today, guys. Leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. If you got the previous 4K release, are you a huge fan of this film and are going to be picking this edition up from Arrow US? Listen, if you haven't ordered from Arrow US before, it's really simple. Use the same login details as you do for the UK site. There is a little bit on top because it's coming from further away, postage-wise. Other than that, it's easy. They come packaged well as well. So, yeah, Arrow US, it's okay to order from if you're from the UK. It's pretty seamless and pretty easy as well. If you did like the video today, guys, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would consider hyping the video as well, honestly, that would really help me out. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. Again, I'd really appreciate it. It does help the channel out as well. And yeah, hopefully I will see you again on my next video. Until then, take care.